Hi everyone, my name is Oluwatosin, and if this is your first time of stopping by, kindly subscribe, like, and leave a comment so that I can post more of this video. On the channel today, you'll be learning how to sew these two pieces. I'm a fan of short skirts, but because I'm wearing this to an event, I'll be sewing a pants instead. And this video is not a cutting video, it is a sewing video tutorial. In this video, I'll be sharing tips and hacks on how to handle a stretchy or knit fabric. So my first question is, what kind of fabric are you using? Are you using Lycra, are you using a mesh, or are you using a stretchy knit fabric? Okay, the first thing you want to know is that this fabric already has stretch, and if you use your actual measurements, it will gape on you, it won't be fitted, it will just look loose fitted on you. And one thing you want to do is to remove from your measurements so that you don't have this negative ease in your garment. So the first thing I do was remove up to 4 inches. Sometimes I remove up to 6 inches depending on how stretchy the fabric is. Okay, and two, once you remove these inches, please, if you want to add your sewing allowance, it is optional at this point, but because I'm going to be using my weaving machine or serger to sew this fabric, I'm not going to add any seam allowance. Okay, if the fabric is so stretchy, immediately remove your 4 inches. Don't add any sewing allowance. Go ahead and sew it with your half-inch seam allowance. And if you know that the fabric is not that stretchy, after removing your 4 inches, go ahead and add your 0.5, that is half an inch sewing allowance. The next thing you want to learn is your cutting tools or machineries. Okay, the machine that we are going to use is our scissors. Your machine don't necessarily need to be electrical to be a machine. What makes your work easier is a machine. So a machine is also your scissors. Yes, I know that some of you don't know this. Your scissors is also a machine because it make your work easier. So now you're going to introduce your scissors and make sure that the scissors you're using is the sharp scissors. Yeah, it is a sharp scissors. And I don't know the name of these scissors, but I think a lot of us call it the foreign scissors. And the price range is from 1,500 to 3,000 naira, depending on the area you are staying in this country. Okay, where I got mine from is 2,500 naira. Okay, I think some of my students got theirs for 1,500 or 2,000 naira. It depends on the vendor you are buying from. So you need your scissors. Take your time to cut your fabric, don't stretch it, just go with the flow of the scissors. Okay, so that's what you see me doing in this video. I'm cutting the fabric, and if you notice, I'm not cutting directly, I'm not marking, taking my measurement directly on the fabric. Why? Because this fabric is so stretchy to the point that when you put a chalk on it, it's stretched with the chalk. So the best way to cut is to first use a paper to cut out your pattern, then you transfer this pattern to the fabric, and then you cut it out. That way your work is going to be a much more easier, and you breathe very well. So please don't give yourself unnecessary work. Draft your pattern, then transfer the pattern to the fabric. Okay, I was doing this in the night and some of my students were around, and I have to attend to them. Try this, Miss Vivian, she will not go home on time. No? She will make sure that the money she paid, she get the value for it. She's all, whenever she comes in the morning, she don't leave on time. That's Miss V for you. So we're trying to check the back and front of this fabric. Sometimes this thing get confusing, so take your time. After I was done cutting, the next thing to do is to start stitching. One thing I will advise you to do if you're working on a mesh fabric, especially on the neckline, yes, on the neckline, please make sure you base the neckline with your sewing machine. If not, you will have this that this neckline is having. That's another tip. Baste it. Just stitch round your neckline to hold in to hold that neckline in place. You can stitch twice or once. Okay. The next thing you want to do is your thread. Now, when you're working with a stretchy fabric, don't use the normal thread that you are used to. Please use a polyester fabric, a polyester thread, please. The one that you use for your weaving machine, please get it and use it to sew. Please get it and use it to sew. Okay, that's the best. I think the best thread for a stretchy or knit fabric. Get a polyester fabric, a thread, not fabric, thread, and use it to sew. Now, while you sew, you can see that I did not drag the fabric with the serger. I did not drag my fabric. I just allow it to go with the flow of the machine. If you start pulling and dragging your stretchy fabric on your machine, it tends to curve. Yeah, give you some kind of curling or curve detailing that I know you and I don't like. Please avoid it. Please, in everything you do, avoid it. And once you are using a serger, make sure you are using the either the 3 thread or the 4 thread, or you are using the manual one. Please, in everything you heard today, do what is best for you. If you have the industrial or manual, they still work the same. Okay. And then when you want to start sewing again, I forget this information, change your thread. And I have a sewing project. No matter how tired I am, I used to change my needle. Change your needle. Use a new needle for every project. Thank God needle is not expensive. For a pack, I think a pack will come with the price range of 2 to 500 naira, and in a pack you have up to 12 or 10 needles. Okay, if you remove one for every project that you're working on, that is for 10 clothes. You use just one pack of your needle, and I don't think that should be a trouble. Don't use the needle that you used for sewing your ashoke or your crepe to now start sewing your stretch. Sometimes this needle would have bent, and you tend to start dragging the threads in your cloth, and it gives you some unnecessary pulling that you don't like, and you make the clothes look worn out before you even wear that clothes. Okay, if you don't want this to happen to your clothes, please avoid it and use a new needle for every new project that you're working on. Okay, and this is me trying to sew. Sometimes this industrial machine, I don't know what's wrong with my industrial machine. I think I'm going to call in the engineer to fix this, because sometimes the students don't know how to handle this and try to pull or drag their clothes in the serger and tend to just move away some of the settings in the cloth. Okay, when you want to sew again, remove your serger from loose to a little bit tighten. Please set your serger from loose. When I weave normal clothes is on loose, but when you want to sew, make sure it's a little bit tight so that you don't have something like a loose sewing stitch in your clothes. And once I was done, this is what I had. I noticed that the pant was a little bit free on me, so I went back to remove half an inch, and this is what it looked like. But I was disappointed. The fabric was transparent and I could not wear the 2 piece to the event. I decided to wear a jean and a top, and it looked good. Thanks for watching.